My name is Aurelia Wynn, and I am the owner and operator of Wynn Publications. And on today's episode of the Author Spotlight, I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Joyce. How are you doing?
I am too blessed to be stressed. How about you?
Oh, that is good. I am doing pretty good myself.
Uh-huh.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do full time?
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan in 1944. I'm the oldest of seven, and I am a trained stenographer by vocation, and also I'm a professional proofreader.
Nice. So, do you do proofreading on the side, or do you work with?
Yeah, on the side.
Okay.
I do it on the side. Yeah, I've proofread manuscripts and dissertations, and I even proofread the website for eHarmony.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! How did you come across that job?
I was working at Kaiser Permanente, and the department that I was working in, I don't know how it was hooked up. So one of the guys approached me to proofread the eHarmony website. It had nothing to do with the job that I was working on.
Oh wow! How funny! That's good. Okay. So then, where are you located right now? Where do you
I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and now we live in Arcadia, California. We've been here for 15 years. I don't miss the snow and ice.
Oh, wow.
But I miss my family.
Okay. Oh, wow. When's the last time you've been back to Michigan?
A couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so. But I talked to my two sisters, and I have three brothers now. I had four. One died of lung cancer in 2013. So.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, yeah, I'm also in California, so that's good. I didn't even realize. I'm in Orange County, so
okay. That's
Orange,
quite a ways away, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about your latest book. What is it about, and what genre does it relate to?
The latest book that I have is called The Limitless Golden Rule, 21 Ways to Use the Golden Rule in Your Life. And it's 43 pages. And God bless me with the talent for being succinct. I can say a lot in a few words. That's why the website is goodshortbooks.com. And all of the books, there are 11 books there, and all of them are true to the website's name. They go from, the shortest one we have is 28 pages, and the longest one we have is 167 pages.
Oh, wow.
So they are short, and they're very good.
Oh, wow.
True to the website's name.
Oh, wow. So are they what are they, self-help books, poetry?
Let's see. I have memoirs.
Okay.
Relationships. I have one on relationships. It's called The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things. It's 64 pages, which includes 22 pages of recipes, so it's only like 40-some pages of text.
Oh, wow.
Then parenting, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. Quotes, my simple quotes to live by. Dear Bully, October is Anti-Bullying Awareness Month, so I'm really promoting that one heavily right now. And it's 52 pages, 25 poems, and 25 no graphic pictures are in that one. And so I wrote that one because I'm really disturbed by children committing suicide because of bullying.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Talk more about that, because I have a 5-year-old who is really sensitive to everything, and every day it seems like she comes home and tells me somebody's being mean to her. As parents, do you think that there's a way to, I guess, for lack of better words, bully-proof your child, or?
Well, that's what I've been stating, because on Facebook and other social media platforms, I just posted one last night that we're not doing enough as America's not doing enough to stop bullying. I think that there needs to be a concerted effort, and this book will help. Let's see, it's written for children 8 to 12, but if you've got a younger child that is really mature, 6 or 7, it can still apply to them. There's one poem in here that I post on social media about, the book is called Dear Bully, a collection of poems about bullying. And as I said, it's 25 poems.
Oh, wow. That's really good. That's you're right. That is so needed, because I was just, it might have been on Facebook Live where I seen it, where they were talking about this young boy out here in California who was sucker punched at his school 3 days after they had talked to the principal. The young man who punched him was suspended for 3 days and came back and retaliated on the little boy and killed him. And so now I assume that the parents, they might want to file a lawsuit or something, but I thought, wow, what are we doing? What is going on with our kids?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's definitely, say the name of that book again.
Dear Bully, a collection of poems about bullying. I want to read you one. It's all of them start with Dear Bully. That's why it's called Dear Bully. How did you feel when you heard that I had committed suicide? Did you laugh and shout with glee, or did you want to run and hide? I was afraid to be in your presence. I was afraid when I heard your voice. I wanted to go to school each day, but your actions gave me no choice. Now I am gone and out of your reach, but this is not what I wanted. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was tired of being taunted.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my.
And then here's another one. Dear Bully, sending mean stuff on your computer or texting it on your phone is no way to deal with anyone. It's better to leave them alone. Cyberbullying is just as bad as doing it face-to-face. It's nothing to be proud of. It's really a total disgrace. Instead of sending mean stuff, start a cyber friendship chain. Include the kids you bullied, and then you all will gain a better way of living, more smiles in all your days, using your computers and your phones in smart and friendly ways.
Oh, wow, that was good. Okay. I like it. Okay, yeah, definitely. So, I'm curious, so you said you have 11 books out?
I have, on goodshortbooks.com, at that website, there are 11 books. I wrote 10, and my sister wrote 1. I have a book of quotes, My Simple Quotes to Live By. It's 90 pages, and it's 167 quotes that I coined. I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old, and that quote states, "Never lose your hope and faith." And I've lived by that. It's taken me through, I'm an 8-year breast cancer survivor and a 7-year stroke survivor, and that quote has really taken me through all of that.
Oh, wow. That is
and
awesome.
Then I coined another quote that I put on social media every day in order to encourage others. And that quote states, "It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream." So I put that on to encourage people to chase their dreams, because there's so many dream killers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Oh, wow. So then, How long did it take you to put out that many books, and then what was the toughest challenge in writing the first one?
Well, the first one was, it's called Line of Serenity, and that's the memoir. As I said, I'm the oldest of 7, and when we all get together, we just adore each other. We have a lot of love and respect for each other. There's never been any sibling rivalry all the way from childhood all the way to today. And when we all get together, we just have such a good time, and we make a comment. We always comment about how we wish that Mama and Daddy could have bottled the way that they raised us, because we think that they did a fabulous job. And so I wrote that book in 1997. My husband and I have been together for 62 years, since we were 13 years old. And I'm 75, he's 76 now.
Wow.
And so this book, it's really hard to say. Well, the first 20 pages or so, he said, when we had a conversation about it, I had finished the manuscript, and he said, all of y'all have that line of serenity running through you. And I was really intrigued by his statement. So that's what I call the book, Line of Serenity. In the first about 20 pages, he adored my parents, and my brother that passed away was his best friend. And as a matter of fact, he met him before he met me. At 12 years old, at 13 when we met. So he describes what he sees as this line of serenity in each one of us, starting with my parents. And he goes all the way through the line. And then I take the manuscript over and the book over, and then I tell the story of how we were raised.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's really good. I just read it again a couple of days ago, and I was thrilled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's got 20 pages of pictures, because I said, well, in the future, somebody may have a little baby that'll look just like Aunt Lou or Aunt Bird or Uncle Oscar. And then it has 20 pages of recipes in it, because food is a huge factor in our family.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
Nice. So, like, what kind of recipes? I'm curious.
Oh, wow. Everything. Desserts. I got banana pudding, apple pie, Aunt Yeti's pound cake, lemon cream pie, and then I've got entrees, macaroni and cheese, chili, lasagna, pot roast, chicken and dressing, greens, cabbage, all of that.
Oh, wow. That sounds good. I'm going to have to get my hands on it and not only read it, but check out some of those recipes. I love, especially with the holidays coming up, my favorite is apple pie. Oh, my gosh. I love it.
Yeah. Now, my favorite is skillet chicken and rice, which I made up, but it's in there. It's in 2 of the books.
Oh, wow.
The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things, and it's also in The Line of Serenity. I've got recipes in both of those.
Oh, wow. So then, what was your toughest challenge then in becoming an author?
I didn't even know that I wanted to become one. That was just the universe guiding me. When I wrote the Line of Serenity book in 1997, I didn't write another one until 2003. The next one I wrote was Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. And so I wrote that one because I was seeing so many young mothers that really didn't have a clue as to how to raise children. And so they use children like they are like mannequins. They want to just dress them up, and that's a human being. That's a personality that you have to guide and steer and do all of that. And so I wrote Mother's Dozen because I saw so many that were doing so much that I thought was wrong. And so when I finished the manuscript, I sent it off to the publishing houses, but it was rejected by every one of them. And they told me that they would only accept manuscripts for child rearing from celebrities and psychologists, and ministers. So they name those. So I said, who wants to raise their child the way a celebrity raises a child? And so what I did the next best thing. I emailed it to the minister of Fame Church, which is a huge church in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And he read it, and I asked if he would read it and consider writing a foreword for it. And then he sent me back this foreword. Wow. Mother's Dozen is a handbook of excellence in raising children. It systematizes the rules passed from generation to generation regarding preparing children for the world to come. It involves tough love. It encompasses touchy-feely. It establishes fences that keep the wolf out and the sheep safe. It is common sense, the most uncommon thing in the world, particularly in this present age of negative imaging and self-raised, quote, rugrats, unquote. The quest is not for something new, but for something substantial. It is here. Every line brings an aha experience. The head nods yes. The will prods action. Well done. Well done. Reverend Cecil L. Chip Murray, First AME Church, Los Angeles, retired.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what he said. So the 12 ingredients that I list, and I expand on all of them. One, start from infancy. 2, manners. 3, love for learning. 4 is responsibility. 5, rules, order, and organization. 6 is independence. 7, spirituality or a higher power. 8, affection. 9, discipline or self-control. 10, feed interests. 11, obedience. And 12, patience. So those are the ingredients.
Oh, wow. That sounds good. Listen, I need to get a couple of these because I'm like, wow, I definitely could use some advice on raising my child because honestly, I think just as a single mom, I think sometimes it's hard to find people who can give you advice.
And this book will definitely help you. It's $7.99.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Wow. Okay. I like it. So then, do you have any advice or lessons that you can offer to other writers, maybe who are just starting out?
Well, if it is your dream to become an author, then don't abandon it. Just keep plugging and plowing away. It is extremely important that you have good English grammar, punctuation skills, and all of that. And I got those all through my school years, and then I was a stenographer, and then that reinforced the spelling, punctuation, and grammar skills. So you got to have that.
Oh, wow. Tell me, what's an stenographer?
Stenographer. A stenographer is a person who takes shorthand and types and prepares documents and all that. They don't have stenographers anymore. Now they're called secretaries.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. And how did you get into that?
I went to, I'm born and raised in Detroit, so I went to what was called the High School of Commerce. And that school trained stenographers, court reporters, clerks for department stores, bookkeepers, all of that administrative types of work.
Oh, wow. And so you've just done that the whole time since high school?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I graduated from high school, I went to work at Detroit Edison, the huge utility there in Detroit. And I was hired as a junior stenographer.
Wow, that's amazing. You have a really good life story. I'm just in awe right now. That's amazing. I'm like, okay, I love it.
But yes, and then I have another one called Jet Black and Her 7 Friends. It's a magical fairy tale. Yeah, so there were no fairy tales about black kids when I was growing up, so I wrote my own in 2009.
Wow.
And this is multi-ethnic. She's a African-American little girl, and she is introduced to, she went to sleep one night, and then she was taken on a magical journey. She didn't want to go to school because her classmates teased her because she's very, very tall for her age. And so she has an Asian fairy godmother. There's a Native American man that she meets, an African American judge, a Latin, Hispanic research assistant, and then a white man, an Asian woman, and a white woman in a wheelchair. So she meets all these 7 people.
Wow.
Who encourage her. It's really a fascinating story. I just love it. God just puts this stuff in me. I don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah, I was going to say, where do you get these ideas?
I don't know where it comes from. It's all my life, though. Really, God has, He always does something.
Yeah, that's interesting because a couple weeks ago I was talking to another author and he says, he wrote petty quotes, just short little quotes, and has come up with 150 of them and turned them into a book. And I said, well, where did you get the ideas from? He said, at 2 o'clock in the morning, he said, God wakes him up and he just starts writing. And I said, wow, okay, so I believe it. I truly believe everything that you're saying.
It's phenomenal, and then like on the Dear Bully book, I wrote those 25 poems in 6 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it blows my mind. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't question it. I
just do it.
Follow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Wow. That's so funny because that's kind of how the author spotlight came to me. I actually started doing this in February with a family member. And then between February and maybe a few weeks ago, I was just going through life changes and something said, bring it back. There's people out there that would need it. And so I put one message in a Facebook group, and oh my gosh, I had 10 people message me at the same time. And I said, okay, God, all right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow. So,
then I also have one called The Vision, telling kids that they can make the world a better place.
Wow.
And that one is only, look here, so I should know. It's 48 pages.
Okay.
And it's a story about 2 young slave kids in the barn, and the little boy has just been beaten because he wanted to learn how to read. And so they go on to talk about he has a sister. The girl has a sister who sees into the future, way into the future, and she sees that children are not going to be man in their books, as she said in the story itself. And she said, especially black kids. And then so, do they know what we're going through just because we want to learn how to read, and they're not going to be doing it, and so they're not going to be doing well in schools. So she talks about that, and it originally started out as a play, and then I turned it into a book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So then how does that happen?
It has 2 contracts in it, one for home and one for school. And it allows the children, this one goes, the ages are 8 to 16, and I deliberately made it up to 16 because you are typically in the 11th grade at 16. And so that gives them time to actually save face, because the contracts in it allows them to say when they're going to start. You have to put a date in there, and when they're going to start changing their behavior and improving. And it has a tracker so that they can track the progress that they're making on a daily basis.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Were you an educator at some point? A teacher at some point, or no?
Everybody asked me that. I was never a teacher. Well, I did used to, when the teacher in about the 6th grade would leave out of the room, she'd put me in charge. I remember that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay. So then you were saying that it started out as a play and then you just decided to make it a book. I find that interesting because a lot of authors do that. They write both books and plays. What's the biggest, other than the format, what's the biggest difference, I guess, in doing one or the other?
Oh, I don't think there's much of a difference because when in a play you're writing, the character and what they say, and then the character and what they say, and all of that. But in a book, it's just flows straight through.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So then, how have you managed to balance family time with writing books, I guess, is what I want to ask.
Well, I'm a night owl. So that's when I usually write at night.
Okay.
Everybody else is in the bed.
Okay. Hey, that's fairly simple. Get it done while
everybody
sleep. Yep.
Yeah, and even if I wanted to write during the daytime, I would just say, okay, I'm going to the computer. Don't bother me unless it's an emergency or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That's good that you have support that way. And, that you're also a night owl because, that makes getting things done a lot easier when nobody distracts you. So then what tips do you have for authors who are trying to balance their writing career and their relationships and their other goals?
Well, I think that they should sit down and talk to all the people that would be deprived of their company while they write. And just sit down and talk to them and get a good understanding about, the time frames that should be used and the days of the week, all of that. So you got to get a good understanding with the people who are living in the same house with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So other than that, then there's nothing else to do because then it's between you and your brain and the keyboard.
Right. So that kind of almost implies like sometimes the only thing that's stopping you is yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I know you mentioned that there's a phrase that you use to help you kind of pull through, but has there been any other moments where you felt like you wanted to quit, and then if so, how did you keep going?
No, I've never felt like I wanted to quit. I've never had that experience.
Okay.
Hope I never do.
Yeah. Tell me again, because I forget. Tell me again the phrase that you said that you coined.
Never lose your hope and faith. I coined that quote when I was 15.
Okay, never lose your hope and faith. Okay. So what else? So that's one thing. What are two other things that help you keep going?
My family. And the love of my family. And just my positive attitude.
Yeah.
I always try to look on the bright side of things. Not always, but usually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, last question. Is there anything else that you would want to share or offer to the community?
Well, I think that we have to keep a positive attitude, and we also have to pursue things that are going to help our community. And my efforts are to write books and also post on social media about the books, and also just to try to keep everything positive and looking upward and onward and forward, So I think that the positive attitude is really important. I think so somebody put on Facebook I shared it, about don't be mad at people based on what they think. Something about just be glad that God doesn't talk about what he knows. See?
Ooh, that is true. That is true.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Because I'm like, yeah, praise God. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a good way to look at it. Because, yeah, a lot of people, we do get caught up in what other people think without even, you know.
Yep.
Wow.
So you better keep it in mind what God knows about you.
Right, right. Yeah. And that's all that matters. Actually, that's what our pastor was talking about this last Sunday is really just God being really the most important thing in our lives. Yeah.
And so, I don't know. We need to be, we need to come together as a people, and I don't know how that's going to happen. Again, I'm just trusting the universe.
Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Miss Joyce, for spending this time with me. I really do appreciate it.
GoodShortBooks.com, Aurelia.
Okay. I'm
going to go. Price from $7.99 to $12.99.
Okay. Hey, yeah. I got a couple of books of yours that I need to get my hands on, so I'm headed there shortly.
Yes. So please do.
All righty.